Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Hoffman, and thank you for viewing this presentation on the digital marketing transformation for Madison Park Bakery, hosted by Pacific Northwest Digitology Incorporated. So as a little introduction, my name is Matt Iwicki, and I'm a digital marketing agent and web developer here at PNW Digitology. And in general, we are a marketing agency that assists smaller businesses in the Pacific Northwest area with their digital transformations and navigating the digital consumer environment that's been developing over recent years. As technology progresses, smaller businesses tend to need a little bit more help in really getting onto that next step and boosting their audience a little bit further. So here's an executive summary of my research findings, just to give you guys a little background on what I have found. I found that Madison Park Bakery is still a really healthy, traditional business, but it does have that further potential to reach a more modern audience with the digital transformation. Its two main competitors are Bakery Nouveau and New Flour Bakery, which are both within 2.5 miles of Madison Park Bakery, located in Capitol Hill. I'll go over in a few slides kind of the background of why they're your main competitors. You currently market your product primarily through your existing website, word of mouth, and you do have two social media pages, your Facebook and your Instagram accounts. And we'll be looking to sort of integrate all of those in this process. After talks with you, you feel that your greater awareness of your business and its products and increased first-time purchases will expand the bakery's base of loyal repeat customers. And I do agree that starting to get more of those first-time sales and getting a little bit more of an introduction and awareness for those customers that you haven't reached yet will really increase your sales overall. Your website needs to have a transformed design and online ordering functionality at this point in time to reach the modern customer, but still needs to retain that traditional theme and vision enjoyed by loyal customers today. Once implemented onto the new online platform, your website will have many new features, including measurability to observe its performance and flexibility to adapt as we progress in this process. With your investment of $1,500, we aim to boost your monthly sales by $10,000 within 90 days of implementation, as per our agreement. Now, a little bit of an overview for the slides for the rest of this presentation. That we're going to go over your background a little bit more. We're going to identify your main competition and what makes them your main competition. We're going to analyze your current website and see its pros and cons. We're going to outline the suggested website improvements from those, from the analysis. We are going to show you how we'll measure this campaign's success. And we're going to review a prototype of the new homepage that I've designed myself for you guys with all of my suggestions. So a little bit more background. You guys have been around, the store has been around since 1929, and it's now owned by you two. And you guys offer a wide variety of baked goods that I've listed there, and you offer services for events like weddings. And so this really does give a wide offering for your client base, which is really helpful in the marketing sphere. We're going to be able to reach a lot larger of a client base as we go along than if you'd just been a niche bakery, maybe like a Russian bakery, for example, might not get as many customers as you guys would. And from my analysis, it does show that you guys have retained that old-fashioned from scratch neighborhood theme, which I really appreciate. And it's going to be really nice to have that sort of warm, inviting feeling for this digital marketing process and for your customers ongoing. Now, for your main competition, what I found is that we need to sort of match what they have and eventually surpass what they have. But these will give some sort of good benchmarks as we go along for this process to improve your website. Now, I found both of these through Google, looking through Google for Capitol Hill bakeries. These two were the first that popped up on that list, and they are both within 2.5 miles of your store, like I mentioned before. And they really do give a good benchmark for what we need to be heading towards. So now, the first one, Bakery Nouveau, at this point does have a vastly superior website to your guys's at the moment, because it does include online ordering, using its space effectively, using its images effectively, mobile friendly, right? And that's a big part of it as well. But the homepage is a bit wordy at this point in time, and that's where I think we can improve upon their design, is not having paragraphs in the homepage that will just drive people away that aren't going to read them. The second main competition for you guys is New Flowers Bakery. They're a little bit different just because they are a 100% gluten-free and peanut-free bakery, which gives them a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the competition just because they can offer that sort of niche market. And they do have a slightly better website than you guys at the moment. They do have online ordering, which is the biggest part for me, and they do use their space effectively. But the design and organization still look very antiquated and not as professional as I think that we could have achieved in this process. So from this competition, our primary objective for the website redevelopment is going to be enhancing your web presence and online ordering capabilities to drive increased sales, targeting the residents, workers, and visitors to the greater Capitol Hill area for walk-in, pickup, and delivery orders. Now, for the current website analysis, I'm sure you guys are very familiar with your own website. From what I found, there are some pros and cons, and there are pros that I really want to retain in the next website draft that I'll show you later. The successes that I found are that it's very fast, it's very responsive. As soon as you click to a different page, it goes there immediately. It's easy to navigate and is very well organized, so you can find exactly what you want and where you need to be on your website. The content is brief and generally informative with attractive images, and so that really does invite the customer to be there. They can find exactly what you guys are offering, and there's no large paragraphs for them to read, and the images do supplement that information. And you guys do have decent search engine optimization at this point, and what I mean by that is once you Google Madison Park bakeries in general, so bakeries around your area, you guys are the first to pop up. And so that is a really good place to start at this point. But we can improve, as I will mention later, in the areas of improvement. And so moving on to those, we need to modernize the site while maintaining the business's traditional image, like I mentioned before. We do want to keep that theme and that vision that you guys have for the store while making it more modern for the modern day customer. We need to use the web page space more effectively. As you've seen from your website, it is just kind of a box with lots of white space around it. And I think we can use that space a lot more effectively, especially for the mobile development when people are looking on their mobile devices. We need to add an online ordering system with individual product detail. And now this one's going to have some interactivity to it as well. So people will be able to click on certain items to get their descriptions and their pictures, and to be able to order online with an interactive menu at that point. We need to improve the SEO a little bit, so the search engine optimization to a competitor's level. And my goal, as I mentioned before, was to get to the Capitol Hill level, so Capitol Hill bakeries showing up on that Google search page. But eventually, a higher goal and a higher ceiling could be getting into the Seattle bakeries category. And finally, we need to connect with our other channels. In this case, it's going to be our social media platforms. So your Instagram and your Facebook accounts need to be connected with your website in order to really have an integrated approach to your marketing. So for the website improvement plan, going a little bit more specifically, I think that our new website platform and hosting service should be WordPress.com. It's what I personally use for any web development that I'm doing, just because it makes it really easy to design as well as to integrate with other functionalities and services that we could provide. We need to create a new design to fill the entire screen and use a new color scheme that's a little bit more bright and inviting. We need to improve the mobile user experience because right now it is pretty poor just because it is developed solely for that desktop space. And it is even small on a desktop, and so it's even smaller on a phone. Being able to implement online ordering with an interactive menu and the pictures taken from the store directly. Being able to modify content to improve SEO, like I mentioned, to be able to get to that Capitol Hill level, and to include links to your social media pages. We're going to measure the campaign success along this process using Google Analytics. There are other analytics softwares out there that like to cater to more specific things, but I think this will be our best option for your case. And the reason I really believe that is because it's easily integrated with WordPress websites, which is where we're going to be building your website. At least that's what we would recommend. And it is free, the version that we want to use for Google Analytics, and it's really going to provide what we need in terms of analytics software. And what's nice about Google Analytics as well is that it works really well with the Google search engine optimization. And so those can really work hand in hand to improve your SEO as we go along, improving the analytics side. So within this free version of Google Analytics, we're going to be able to have the functionalities of measuring the number of daily website visitors and the duration of their visits. So seeing how many people we're going to be getting daily, per week, and per month at the end of the 90 days to be able to see how much traffic we're getting and how long they're staying during those visits to your website. And within their duration of time being on your website, we're going to be able to see which pages they're visiting the most and which ones they're interacting with the most. And that will give us a little bit better idea of how we should be catering our marketing strategy to really be for certain products or certain services, or what we really need to work on the website to be able to up that interaction across all pages. We'll be able to see visitor origin, which will include which search engine they came from, or which website they came from, or which article they came from that might have had a link to your website. But it'll also be showing us where your visitors are looking from. So that might be around the Capitol Hill area, or it might be all around Seattle, or it might even be around the greater Seattle area, like all around King County. We're going to be able to measure the bounce rate. And so a bounce off of your website will be when they view the web page and then leave without any interaction. So this could be when they get to the home page. This will be when they go to the home page and they don't really interact with anything other than scrolling, and they don't click on anything, they don't visit any other pages, and then they leave. So this will be able to tell us that we need to do a little bit more work on the home page itself. So that landing page and that call to action, that we really need them to go to the menu, be looking at our products, and order something. And finally, from this Google Analytics software, we'll be able to measure the device usage by percentages. So for mobile, desktop, and other devices that they might be using. And from my projections, I think that the mobile usage will be the highest, especially in this day and age, but we're still going to measure it and be able to see what we really need to be focusing on. And ultimately, all of these will be able to increase your monthly sales at the end of the 90 days. So now we're going to be looking at the new homepage prototype that I've created myself. And we're just going to follow this link here. And so going from your old website, right, looking at it here, lots of white space in the background, a little bit cramped in the middle. Now we're going to be using that space more effectively. So now being able to scroll through, have that different color scheme, still having that red from the logo like before, that same design, but a little bit brighter, a little bit more white wording, right, to be a little bit more inviting in that sense. And now using the pictures as well, how pictures were on your website before and really helped with your content, now it's going to be a little bit more central part as we scroll through and see that there's going to be images all over here to be able to show what you're really offering and to be able to really supplement that content that you have on your page. And going through, it's going to have these calls to action like order online, contact us, here's our social medias, here's our menu to look at. And so that way we really are driving them to the products that you want them to be seeing and you want them to be buying as well. And so after this presentation, you guys can let me know what you really think about the website from here. This is just a concept idea that I had, and we can go in multiple different directions from here. But this is really how I wanted it to look and how I would want it to go. And as we start building out the other pages for this website, I'm going to be contacting you and be in talks with you about how you really want it to be, because I want to ensure that your vision stays consistent throughout the process. And so after looking at everything and looking at the new prototype, in conclusion, your bakery is iconic and it has been since 1929, but we can help you achieve its highest potential to reach that modern consumer and just build out that client base that little bit farther and just get that little bit more awareness and audience. By improving the website to be responsive in terms of the devices that people will be using, interactive, so with that online ordering system, efficient, having that little bit better content for SEO and for getting your point across, and measurable for the analytics side of things, we can boost awareness, satisfaction, and profitability, which is ultimately what you guys are looking for with our services. We're going to be ensuring that the website retains your values and visions of the bakery, and knowing that there is brand value in being old-fashioned. We really do want to keep that theme alive, and we do want to keep your vision alive and make sure that we're not overstepping our bounds or making it something different than you want it to be. We are confident that in executing the website improvement plan that I've outlined, we'll be able to increase the awareness of your business and eventually lead to an increase in sales to the amounts that we were talking about. So in $10,000 in sales by the end of 90 days. And again, thank you for choosing us for your digital marketing transformation. And we really do look forward to working with you. Thanks so much and look forward to talking to you guys soon.